Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited today because I'm going to be talking to you about what I've been doing in the last few weeks, which is working with a team. And you might know by now that I've been working as a solo indie game developer for a long time. And it got to a point where I really needed to get some help. I really needed to leverage other people's skills. And I can only do so much. I've been doing marketing, I've been doing research, I've been doing the ideation of the game design, the level design. I've just been doing so much. And for the last 4 weeks, I've been working with a team. This team is overseas, so it was a challenge to be able to communicate with them at all times. And at the beginning, you're gonna be a little bit of a control freak, and I'm very much like that, because I want to make sure that I don't deviate from my good practices. I want to make sure that I'm releasing a great game. So a lot of times we're gonna feel, a little bit of a fear when we're giving our work to somebody else. But I gotta tell you that you gotta take that step. You gotta make sure that, at the very beginning, you're agreeing on a contract. You're signing a contract with that person, and you're as detailed as you can in that contract. So one of the things that I did with the team that I'm working on, which is actually 3 more people, one of them is a developer, and the other one is an architect, and I have another one that is an artist. So the first thing that I did is I got all the paperwork completed. We talked about some of the things that we needed to basically agree on, percentages. So I'm doing a revenue sharing deal where I'm giving them a percentage of the sales of every platform. And I'm also listing the platforms that I'm gonna be giving them a percent cut for. So every little detail about the deal, you have to make sure that you do that from the very beginning. The worst thing that can happen is you create your game and they're sending you code, and then midway to the release of the game, people are started to get not as motivated because they didn't really like the deal. So that deal that you do with those people at the very beginning is the thing that is the most important part of working with a team. You gotta be able to communicate with them, and agree on these things from the very beginning. And something that I do when I'm actually writing these contracts, because I've been doing it for a while, and I've been working as freelancer in the past, so I have a template for these kind of contracts, and I make sure that everything is detailed as I was describing you. And I also talk to them over the phone, and I tell them, if there's anything that bugs you about the contract, or if you're not comfortable, I put it in Google Documents so they can edit it, they can add notes. We basically agree on different changes. So that is very, very important if you want to make sure that you're forming a good team, a good, healthy team, because that's basically what's going to be the most important thing from the very beginning. And then after that, all you have to worry is about the project. So now you ask me, okay, we have the contract done. What do we do next? How do we make sure that we're monitoring what they do? And I gotta tell you that at the very beginning, I was a little bit of a control freak. I wanted to make sure that, that we're working on the game at all times. And I gotta tell you that when people are passionate about doing something, they're gonna be doing it. But you also have to make sure that they're doing it. So some things that I did from the very beginning is I set up a Slack channel. And in the Slack channel, I have few areas where, I'm communicating with them at all times. We're basically posting images back and forth. And that is a really good way of communicating with your team. I also have a Slack on my phone, so anything that they need, I'm basically getting messages from them at all times. I'm responding to them. And then the other thing that is very important if you're basically working remotely is I always send them a message every morning, and I say, okay, how are things going? Is there anything that I can help you with? And then I kind of coordinate what they're gonna be working on, through that day. I also do that once a week. So on Fridays, I have a conference call where we actually go through the game and we talk about, what things work out, what things didn't work out. And, I basically open it up for discussion. If there's anything that comes up during those discussions that it really needs to go into the game, I put it in the Trello board, which is what I'm using for managing the project. And then lastly, you have to make sure that you're managing this project. So somebody in your team, in my case, I'm the person that is actually doing the project management. So you need to have a person that is basically tasking everything out, that is looking for, the deadline, and and looking at every little task that needs to be done, any task that needs to be actually killed that you might not need. You need a person like that in your team. If that person is you because you're leading the team, that's awesome because you have a vision about that. But if you don't like doing that, find somebody that is passionate about that, because that's basically going to make sure that your team is consistent with what they're doing. They're finishing tasks, they're moving tasks through the project board. So make sure that you do that. And if you have any questions about this, let me know through the comments. Let me know through social media. And then don't forget to share this video to anybody that might have the same questions that you have and is going through this process right now. Thank you, guys.